The next pieces we're going to create are the single angle and the gable. That's I and L, these two here. And they are very similar, so that we're going to create the main shape and then add the differences to make the two different ones. So the main shape is going to be the rectangle with the windows on it, and then one of them will have this angle with the grooves, and the other one will have the gable portion of the top. So starting with a new piece, the overall dimension is 2 inches tall, 1.5 inches wide, and 3/8 inches thick. So I'll start a new sketch. I'll do it this time on the XY plane. And I'll make my face size here. So it's 1.5 wide and 2 tall. An extrusion of 3/8. Next I'll draw the windows for the front. So a sketch on the front. Similar to the other windows, they're going to be 3/16 inches wide. And it looks like I'm going to make them 11/16 inches tall. So I'll start with my lines here. Make those two sides the same. Make the width 3/16. From the edge, the window is 3/8 away, and from the bottom it is 1/4 of an inch away. So I'll do it 1/4 here and 3/8 here. Using arcs for the top, setting it to be tangent with the side. Setting the arcs to be equal to each other. And the distance to the top of the piece is 3/4 of an inch. I want 2 of them, so I'll use a mirror tool. First I'll create a construction line that goes from the center of the top to the center of the bottom. And then I'll use the mirror tool, select these, select my mirror line, and I have it now copied. I'll go ahead and make an extrusion. It's going to be a cut extrusion. I'm going to go 0.05 for my depth. Alright, now I can make the slanted top for the angle piece, and then I can come back and do the gable for the other one. So for the slanted top, the slant comes down 1/2 inch. So I'm going to make a sketch on this side, and I'm going to create a triangle. This triangle is going to represent what I'm going to cut away. So I'm going to do 3 sides to it here, and then I'm going to set the distance on this side to be 1/2 inch. And I will go ahead and add the grooves that I want to add right away as well. The grooves are about a 16 inch thick, and there's about 1/8 inch between the top ones and a little bit less on the bottom. So I'm going to start by creating rectangles. I'm going to do a 3-point rectangle so that I can do it at an angle. So I'm going to do a point here, and then out here. I'll go ahead and make all 3 of them right away. And then I will set dimensions for them. So I'm going to make these. It's tricky sometimes at an angled dimension to make sure you're getting at the length of the line. So usually if you click when you're close to it and pull it out, that works well. 1/16 of an inch there. I could actually just use the equal tool now. I want this to be equal to this. I want this to be equal to this. And just go all the way through, making them equal. Then I want the distance here between these two parts to be 1/8. Oh, try that again. 1/8 between these two and between these two. And then the remaining distance can be whatever it ends up being. So I'll finish that. And now I have to do an extrusion. Selecting these three pieces of geometry, making it a cut all the way across. And that makes the angle piece. Now I can save this angle piece. But then what I'm going to come back here is I'm now just going to adjust this piece for the gable top. So I'm just going to delete this previous extrusion I made. Now again, make sure you've saved it as the angle piece first. I'll go ahead and delete the consumed features and sketches. And now we can come back and make the gable. Starting a sketch on the front. Similar to the tower of the gable, there are 1/4 inch tall and 1/4 inch deep, and there's 4 of them. So I'm going to draw rectangles for what's going to be cut away, but dimension the spaces for what's left. So I need 3 rectangles here. And now dimension is going to be 1/4 inch tall. They're all going to be the same. And I'll set all these 3 to be equal right away too. But then when I dimension them, it'll work out. So I want this to be 1/4 inch here, 1/4 inch here, 1/4 inch here, 1/4 inch there. Now I can extrude those as a cut all the way through. And the gable only goes back halfway, so I need one more sketch on this side. Create a rectangle up in the corner. It's going to be 3/16, which is half of the 3/8, and it's going to be 1/4 inch, which is the height of those parapets. And now I create an extrusion. With this, it's going to be a cut and go all the way through. So now here's the gable. And again, when you make sure you save it, but make sure you go to File and Save As the other piece that you want to label it, so you don't overwrite the angle piece that you created.